Yo, what's going on? Welcome to the season finale of Live with Lamar. I'm your host, Lamar, and tonight it's a wrap for season 1. I do want to start this show by thanking everybody that tapped in with me for the very first season. Everyone that was there for every interview, all my guests this season, shout out to y'all. It's only the beginning. You know, I made a transition over, rechanged, rebranded, and it was probably one of the best decisions I ever made. I'm overly grateful. I'm overly thankful for all the support and everyone that supported me over to this transition. But tonight we close season 1, and just know this, that next season is going to be just as big and bigger and better than ever. But tonight I could not have a season finale without like a very good friend of mine. We've been through like a lot. We've worked together on many different platforms and in many different capacities. And tonight, it was only right to bring her back because she's in her own new chapter, her own life, and her own new brands. And so I want to talk about that. And it's Taco Tuesday. You know what I mean? Like, why not have a food connoisseur and someone that's a super foodie on my show for Taco Tuesday and the week of Thanksgiving? You feel me? Like, I know we all ready for Thanksgiving. The Jews, see? So I'm going to tap in with my girl, Kait. Kait is going to tap in with us, and we're going to talk all things food tonight because I know we're all ready to eat. And we got like 24 hours, 48 hours before the turkey and the ham and everything and the macaroni and cheese and candy yams is all laid out on the table. So let me go ahead and tap in with Kait right now, and we're going to get this thing started. Thank you for everybody that is currently tuning in. I appreciate it so very much. I got my orange juice, and I'm drinking Patron. Not even going to lie to y'all. My favorite drink is tequila, like always. Come on. Waiting for Kait Cravens to join. Hope my stuff doesn't waste. If it wastes, it's gonna be like a huge L. Do 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 do. Let's try this again. Kait, you are being summoned. It's been a fan. There we go. Yo.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Yeah, we see you, we feel you, we hear you, all those. Sorry, I wanted to turn my brightness up a little bit, but we here.
That's exciting.
How you doing? How are you?
I'm good. I'm cracking up at my father. He's already managed to make me uncomfortable.
But he's been like your biggest supporter, our biggest supporter for like as long as I know. So like it would only be right to have Father Lots in the building. Look at him. He even shouting you out. That's like your biggest supporter. Look at that.
It's great. No, it's amazing. I think everybody knows, like everybody in my family is a chronic entrepreneur. There's just no way around it. So, hi, Dad.
What do you think? And we talked about this before. I think we probably talked about it off camera. What do you think is probably one of the biggest things you've learned from your father? In like branding sense, like that, and how you build your brand and carry yourself?
Honestly, probably to go for it. He will tell you I'm not a risk taker. So I don't like if it doesn't feel safe to me and my feelings aren't feeling it, I won't do it. And he is very much a risk taker. And I think that's something that I've tried to pick up because it's already a no if you don't have it, right? Like, so not taking the risk is actually just like cheating yourself. So that's something that I think is a really big lesson to learn and something I want to be more intentional about. Because for me, I'm like, I'm comfortable. This is good. And I feel like just as of lately, like I have more people in my life like that now that are like, have you taken the next step? Have you taken the risk? Have you made the jump? So that's always fun and interesting.
That's good. No, your dad is like super smart. He's super involved and super encouraging and motivated. And he always has a really great spirit, which me knowing you for as long as I've known you, and I mean, that's your dad, so you're going to think otherwise. But me knowing you as long as I've known you,
Can't do that with him on this call.
Because I can't tell the truth.
Call later and he'll be like, did you hear that?
But you already know me and your pop's best friend, so that ain't no secret.
Oh my gosh, okay.
Your parents love me.
I don't know that that's true, but
hey, pops, let her know. I'm invited to Thanksgiving this year. I'm invited. It's Taco Tuesday.
It is.
First off,
Hey.
And I know you're a food connoisseur, so I want to ask you this question. What are some of your favorite taco spots? Like, you're in Cincinnati, Ohio.
I am, which I think a lot of people who, hey, I see some of y'all saying hey. I know a lot of people don't know a lot about Cincinnati that may be watching, they may be on the Florida end of things. Cincinnati has so much food. I mean, truly, like, so much food. I feel like I can never really keep up with it. Every time we go and eat somewhere new, especially like in the influencer group, a new place opens up. Like even during the pandemic, I was like, we have new restaurants opening up. But I think when it comes to tacos, my number one is Pata Roja Tacos. And his name is Derek, and he's the coolest guy. He literally is like out on 1324 Main Street with this cart. He's like cutting the meat. He's like cooking.
Oh, he got them real tacos.
Yeah, like he went to Mexico to like study for a semester and then came back and then went back again. And he is like out there just like sweating and making, and he even makes like really good veggie tacos, which for me is, hey Miles, for me is how you know if the food is good, because if you're seasoning the vegetables to the point where the taco is good, oh my gosh, it's so good. And he honestly just has an amazing personality, and it's always like 5 p.m. until close or sell out. So like he always sells out. So like
that is amazing.
The whole thing, the OTR environment and vibe is like really cool. People like, it's just a really unique atmosphere. Whereas like we lived in Pensacola for so long, it was like one strip. OTR is like the strip upon strip upon strip upon strip upon strip. And so you can just find yourself like, you're always going to find a cocktail. You're always going to find food. You're always going to find like a good taco. Another one of my big ones. Oh, hi, Gam. Sorry.
Hello, Gam. We see you.
Another one that I really love but are not authentic is Agave and Rye. So they just make really unique tacos, and I won't say like flavor wise that they're my like top 5, but for uniqueness, they're amazing. Like you can get tacos with like deep fried cauliflower, an entire piece of chicken, fries, mac and cheese. Like you can get like a spaghetti taco. It's just really, really unique. So I enjoy their tacos as well, but haven't really found a set of tacos that I haven't liked. Like Mazunte, also another big winner. This could go on for days.
Yeah, you got a lot of favorites. Like in Tampa, there's a lot of taco spots down here too. Like in Central Florida, there's like a huge Hispanic population, Cubans and everything just down here. So like I've had opportunity to try Green Lemon, which is like whenever you come to Tampa, everyone always says, have you been to Green Lemon? Like, have you been to Green Lemon? It's downtown Tampa.
He's never like, I've been to Tampa. He's never asked me that.
Really? I'm sorry. Well, you got to come to Green Lemon. Like, Green Lemon is really good. The line is, like, always super packed. Their tacos are really good. Their margaritas are really good. I also enjoy Extreme Tacos. They're down in Soho. And their tacos are just really good. There's Taco Dirty, and there's just a lot. Fuzzies I enjoy is right up the street. So, like, there's a lot of good taco spots.
Dang. Noted. All right.
So, when you come to Tampa, I got you.
Yeah.
We're going to go out and get some tacos. What's your favorite taco recipe? Actually, Pops, I have a very fun taco recipe that I do. It's actually like a chicken quesadilla melt where I shred some chicken and I put it in a quesadilla and I put some chipotle ranch inside of it and some cheese and whatever else. And I put it in a skillet and flip it. And it's probably like my best taco recipe ever.
Well, I will say my favorite tacos, if I'm making them at home, are going to be a savory sweet potato and avocado.
Oh, okay. Just blow my shit out the water.
Language. Wow.
Sorry, Mom. Sorry, Pop.
No. But I don't eat meat anymore. So I can't have a chicken taco. Also, I'm loving the little family reunion happening in this comment section. It's rude.
Hey, Elise.
But I feel like I have to get really creative with tacos because when you don't have meat, you're literally just like scavenging for like anything to eat. You're like, oh my gosh, what did we put on this taco? Like everybody else looks like they're having full meals, and like your mushrooms, which already started this big, are now this big. They're like on the taco. It's it's an experience.
That is really amazing. So not only is it Taco Tuesday, but like Thanksgiving is coming up on Thursday. You going home to see your family for Thanksgiving this year?
I am. I
You
am.
said that with a big sigh, like you're not excited to see them.
Well, because in my household, everything is cutthroat. So, like, you don't just come to the Lot household and have a nice time. Like, everything, one, is up for discussion. Everything is, like, very competition-y. So I'm like, yeah, I'm going to go. I'm trying to figure out at what point in the day my dad's going to pull out Blockus. There's going to be, like, all-out war. Like, we played Monopoly with my mom recently. It was so intense.
What do you think you look forward to the most when it comes to Thanksgiving?
Honestly, I think my dad cooking, because I think everybody.
Oh, he can cook.
Oh, yeah, that's probably where I get a lot of my like foodiness from, essentially. So growing up, my dad was always the one that really liked to have fun with food. So like if he was home for the day and he was making our lunches, like it was like an exciting experience for him. He's like, ooh, we're gonna do peanut butter and jelly with sliced strawberries in the middle. Like
there's this woman on TikTok that he reminds me of where he does like above and beyond. So most people that face lunch is like a sandwich and a Ziploc bag. I feel like he gets very creative.
yes, he really, really does. Well, and he likes to tell like a story behind everything that he makes. And I think there was this really unique love of food and like learning about food in that way. And then I got sent to like, I went to a culinary camp here or there, whatever, everything far wide in between. And so like when we come home for Thanksgiving, the funny part is we always act like we're going to pitch in. So it's my dad's kind of like, send me the menu, we'll work on the menu. But like the day of, it's just him and like thousands of dishes surrounding him. And he's just like
in there
hard working, and he's
wear an apron,
his mother's recipes and all this stuff. So it's just, it's a good
have
time.
an apron he wear while he's cooking.
No, he really doesn't. It's not like an apron. It's more like just like a t-shirt and he's cooking. But that's the funny part too, because once he's like, he's done when he's changed. And like he comes back out and he's got like the outfit on and he's like kind of fresh. And then he wants to start talking about the food. And that's probably played a really big role in like my love for food. Like my favorite thing about going to events or restaurants when they like present me with a meal that they want me to critique or whatever is when they're sitting there telling the story. And they're like, okay, these flavors came from New Orleans. We had spent 3 years going here and there. Da-da-da. That is very much how my dad is. So I've always really appreciated that. It's my favorite part. Everything else after that is like everybody's stuffed. Then it gets really competition-y. It's like, figuring out, what we're doing for the rest of the day. But it's a really, really, really good time. Usually super funny. Someone's feelings definitely are going to end up getting hurt, but in the best way possible. And it's just fun. Like, it's just lighthearted and fun. It's a good time.
What do you think is, if your dad was to cook and he was to mess up one dish, what is that one dish that you think would just cancel the entire Thanksgiving?
I feel like if you mess up the mac and cheese, it's a wrap. Like,
that's the majority of rules. You can't mess up mac and cheese.
No, like, I struggle even like with office party. Like, luckily COVID, we can't do that anymore because the office party, when people bring like, well, I brought mac and cheese and I brought mac and cheese and I brought mac and cheese, and you cannot eat everybody's mac and cheese. Like, it has to be baked. It has to be crispy. Like, it has to have like a cheese pull when you lift. Yeah, like there is, like, you cannot mess up the mac and cheese. Everything else to me is like up for discussion. I also don't eat meat though, so I'm not thinking about the turkey. I'm not thinking about the ham. Like, I don't care about any of that. I'm like,
does your dad know this year coming home for Thanksgiving that he has to make you some alternative options?
Oh yeah, well, he's the vegan. Like him,
so it's easy.
Yeah, him, my sister, and me for the most part. Like, I'm more veganish. They're really strict. Like, they don't do a lot of dairy. They don't really do eggs. I cheat. I'm like, I need my eggs, I'm making an omelet. And then my brother, even here and there, like I remember last year, he was like, I'm cutting down intake. So our family has gone through a very metamorphosis in the way we eat, because it very much used to be very different. So now we're like, oh, a butternut squash or a spaghetti squash and a mushroom this and a, veggie lasagna. So we really work to like make those alternatives, but also just like we have a whole holiday that induces like gluttony. And I feel like we're trying to be like, okay, cool, eat what you want to eat, but can we make like better options, So we're prepared-ish.
That's really good. And I see like the talk of food, it seems to be very prominent in your family. Your family is like a dope family. I've known you guys for so long. We've known each other for so long. And like I've seen a transition in you from different types of brands, whether it's hosting, whether it's YouTube, whether it's painting, whether it's food. You've done a lot. A lot of people want to start brands. A lot of people. What would you say is probably one of the biggest things you've learned about yourself as you transition between brands, between then and now?
I think it's really just to stay extremely consistent. One of the reasons I feel like I volley back and forth is because I feel like certain things have failed over time. And there's just no consistency. But if I would have kept up with those things, then like maybe it would have naturally curated itself into a brand. So especially with the like food blogging, my sister, she does a lot of like brand content creation, etc. And so I have these discussions with her about like, well, maybe I'm not getting as many likes, or my engagement is a little bit lower, or how do I kind of like intertwine this and that, etc. And it's more so, it's just like, just keep it up. Just keep doing it. Because even if it's at a low, and my dad said this, he's like, you want to be able to sit down and say, I did that for 10 years. Like I'm a 10-year advocate and professional in this area, if that makes sense. And so even if you're not necessarily getting the amount of audience that you want or the viewership that you want, it's that you're doing it and you're growing your experience. And through that, like, more opportunities to naturally come, and don't be afraid to put yourself out there. Like everybody right now is creating a brand and everybody wants to be like seen a certain way. You got to be yourself. You got to just do it. Like nobody is going to tell you when to go be the brand or when to, like, you have to get out there and just do it and trust that it'll work and trust God, because if it's meant to be, it will, got to make it happen. So
that's amazing. I want to make sure I get to Jarika's question. She asked, what was the idea behind not eating meat? Like she's looking for different eating options. So what made you make that decision to stop eating meat?
So I actually, as Brandon and most of you guys know, I struggled with my weight fluctuation back and forth a ton. I mean, I have been anywhere between like 200 pounds to like 125. So for me, the last year or two, I had like kind of just this really big revelation with God about my body and what it's meant for. And so my body is meant to move, and it needs to move for the purpose of purpose and completing purpose. And my sister and dad had already been vegan, and I was kind of watching their journey, and I was like, let me just try it. Let me try something practical that I can do on a regular basis that may actually affect my health, and my body may just not really need that. I also don't buy into the narrative that we're all not supposed to eat meat, because I do believe that there has to be balance, but I don't think a majority of us do have to eat meat, and I really just wanted to change. And so when I did that over a year of just not eating meat, cutting back on dairy, not only did like my skin clear up, I started working out more, I had more energy, I lost like 55 pounds, and it was something that was sustainable, which was the really big part for me. Like I do not like crash dieting, I don't like feeling like I can't eat, and so I wanted to feel like, what can I do that everywhere I go, I can still eat, but I'm taking something away. So like taking meat and dairy away was something that was very easy and practical for me to do. So I was like, hey, okay. And don't get me wrong, I do food blogging. We're gonna cheat here and there. Like it's just natural for me to try different foods that have different things in it. But my overall lifestyle now has just become more plant-based, which has benefited my body personally. I have some friends that went keto, which is like more meat and less carbs. So I think you have to find what is best for you, what's best for your body. Yeah.
And that's what your dad said. I heard about that film. Actually, it's called What the Health, and it basically talks about just eating different things. You know, me, I haven't ate pork for 4 years, and I stopped eating that after I was in psychology class, and it was a topic about how bad pork can be for the body, and so I cut it out. So it's been 4 years since I personally have eaten pork. Do I miss it? Yeah, I miss my pepperoni pizza, my ribs, my smoked pork chops, but it's been good. You know what I mean? And the only thing I really eat is chicken and shrimp and fish. I don't really eat too much beef. Because I don't have a steak and I'm not a burger person. So I like you said, I think you just have to figure out what's good for you and works for you. Yeah. I heard keto is very, 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 very strict. And it can be a lot.
I watched What the Health and felt nothing. So like some people watched that and felt immediately like, I've got to be vegan. I was like, give me the chicken. Like I watched that years ago and I had no problem because I was like, either God's going to cover my food or God's going to cover my food. Like I had to really change my mindset about that because I just don't buy into the narrative that all of a sudden we're not going to eat meat. Like people are going to, but I do think that I will also say like if you're not doing research on the meat you're eating, that's one thing I've also learned like in food blogging. Like if it says like grass fed, that animal only has to be grass fed once in its life for them to be able to label it that way. So like that's the kind of stuff that you want to be like really weary of because you can put anything on a label and people can really take advantage of those things. So if you're going to be eating meat or you're going to be eating certain ways, you know, do your research, everything in moderation, and just like make wise choices and then look at what the people around you are eating. Like most of the people around me are very like conscious eaters now, and if you're not around conscious eaters, like it will be harder to kind of like fall into that and whatnot. So
that is dope. So now you're a foodie. What like now you move because like I said, I know you doing hosting, YouTube, blogging. What do you think was the ultimate decision for you to step into this brand? Like you got an Instagram page, you're consistent with it, you're out here traveling, eating ice cream and drinking tea and eating tacos and pizza. And with these dope captions and working with these dope establishments and trying out their food, what do you think was the ultimate push to make you go full throttle into this?
Honestly, it was during my like weight loss journey. I was being really, really strict during the week when I initially started losing weight. So I was like, I only eat from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. I do not eat after that. And Saturdays are my cheat days. But my cheat days became so explosive. Like I was going like 7 places in one day. So I'm like, I'm going to Rind, I'm going to Agave and Rye, I'm going to Nine Giant, I'm going here. And so I'm literally, you know, going to all these places and like naturally as a visual learner, I'm taking pictures of my food, I'm taking pictures of the restaurant, of my experience. And I just got to a point where I was like, this should all live somewhere. And it literally happened. My friend Savannah's in here. Hi. It literally happened like one day at work. I was like, I think I'm just going to make an Instagram for food. And she was like, okay, do it. And we're like, all right, I'm going to do it. And like, I don't think anybody thought anything of it in the beginning. It was just like, Kate's got a cute little food page, whatever. And Savannah was the first person that went with me to an actual food event where we went to a restaurant and they gave us all of the appetizers and entree, all of the desserts. Oh, and whatever you wanted to drink at no cost. And I literally was like, so we're going to keep doing this.
Wow.
Like, I'm not going to stop doing like, and I don't even think I understood that world and that market existed. And so slowly over time, I started getting invited to like influencer events. Cincy Coco bloggers, that's an entire group for Black women in the Cincinnati area who are blogging, who have their own businesses, etc., who are entrepreneurs. And there's a group for us to collaborate, and businesses will reach out to our group and ask us to come and simply review their products with their food, their event space, whatever, and then post on Instagram. So, you know, it just naturally kept falling into place. I mean, it was honestly really, really crazy. Like I kept calling my sister and going, hey, another restaurant messaged me or another place messaged me. And I'm like, what? You know, you don't stop doing that.
You don't.
Like,
that's free food.
free and my Instagram looks really pretty. Like, this is, you know, and I think it was a little bit of redemption as well, as God showing me that, like, hey, you had this battle with food, you had this battle with your body, you're learning more about yourself, you're learning more about the world around you. You can explore food by meeting new people, engage with other, you know, like, there's so much to share in this environment. And I think he really redeemed that space for me, because food was such a struggle for me. I'm sorry, I do not get paid millions.
Tell me to check. Cut me the check. Send me a check.
But yeah, like, for me, it's just been a really big, like, redemptive thing for me. I have gotten also to include more people in my world into that. And I think that's probably my favorite part, because the fact that the people around me can also experience the benefits, of, like, the minute labor it takes to expose my followers to a small business or to something new in their community is just honestly, like, a really amazing experience. So, yeah.
Have you ever had a bad foodie experience?
So, not technically. However, so there's a restaurant, and I'll let it remain nameless, but a restaurant here in Cincinnati that I absolutely love their brunch. I love their brunch. Now, I went for dinner, and I actually sent the plate back. And I have never sent a plate back in my life. And that was the first time I ever sent a plate back. And it was honestly super uncomfortable and really awkward for me. And you know what? Actually, I'm lying. That is one bad food experience. I did have a bad foodie experience, because Savannah had went with me to another establishment. And there was, 30, 25, probably, let me say 15 to 25 influencers. The person who organized the event was not there. The food was just sitting out, and it was, like, cold. Like, it was sitting out on a table. Nobody explained to us what the dishes were, what the backstory, none of it. They gave us, like, a drink ticket and kind of sent us on our way. It was really unprofessional. And as someone who does this on the side, when you start going to these, you get a real flow for how they're going to do this. They're going to sit you down. They're going to ask what you want to drink. The chef is going to come out and introduce himself and, like, check on you guys. He's going to give you a background story of the restaurant and of the, like, first thing that you're going to try. Then they're going to kind of give you guys some time to, like, take pictures, whatever, if you want to order something else. Like, there's a real routine to this. And that routine was completely gone. And you had, like, I was sitting next to one of my friends who is also a food blogger who has, like, 16,000 followers. And
wow.
This girl is like, no. She's like, please get me someone to talk to about what's happening here. And the food wasn't necessarily bad. The experience itself just wasn't, I think, what we all thought it was going to be. So I hate to say that, like, I've had a bad foodie experience, but it happens, whatever. Unfortunately, I never posted that place, so I opted out of advertising for them at that moment.
As you should have.
Right. However, I did work with them again, the same company at a different location, and had an amazing experience. So, you know, the food world is fickle. It's event planning. It's, you know, sometimes people are no-shows, and, you know, hi, Jess.
What do you think you have next for yourself? So I've been saying for the longest, I either need you on HGTV, Food Network, to have your own show, your own cooking show, your own something. What do you think is next for you, or what's the next step for you and your foodie life?
Honestly, I think it's just, I don't think I've tailored it yet. And I will say part of what I think makes Kait's Cravings so, like, special and so successful is I'm not forcing anything. So I'm not really sitting at a computer spewing out emails to tons of companies asking them to collaborate with me. It's a very natural interaction. People reach out to me if I feel like I vibe with that company or with that mission or whatever. I say yes. I try not to make it strenuous, because it is the thing that is supposed to bring me joy and it's supposed to be an escape from my regular life. However, now that I've had certain opportunities, like, I've modeled for a boutique, I've done socials by Man, which a few people in this area know what that is. things like Mock Party, working with Cincy Experience. There's a heightened level that I could get to. So I think the next thing is really just stretching myself to say, okay, I need to like get my face somewhere with the food so that people know who I am and what I'm doing, but I don't want anything to feel forced or unnatural, if that makes sense. So I'm kind of taking it day by day, honestly, just listening to God and what he wants me to do. I would love to do like some Cincinnati, like commercial collaboration stuff. Like that's, my heart is so in the city. Like I love it here. Like I could move, but I just really, really love it here. I love the community and everything. So not entirely sure, but working on it. So, you know.
No, I like it. No, that's definitely dope. I mean, sometimes you have to just kind of go in there and just kind of go with the flow. That's one thing I took with direction of my rebranding, just being more natural with it, not trying to force it and because natural is better. People can sense fakeness. And when you do a lot of fakeness or stage type of things, it's easy to see through it, and so it's not as successful. So for you to be so open and so just natural with it, not forcing it, I think it allows your page and your brand to grow to what it is becoming.
Absolutely. Also, I just never want to be that person that like I've said no to brand deals because I don't necessarily align with that mission, even if they're going to like pay me. So that's when like, I just really want to be authentic and natural. So I don't want to feel like I'm just, you know, I need to make money to post on my Instagram or I need to do this. Like I really want to feel led and be intentional. And whatever I share with my followers, I want to make sure I'm behind it because you can end up just sharing things that you're totally unaware of.
These are facts.
Yeah, and be connected to stuff. So honestly, my goal is just to be authentic as you are, and be myself. My food page has become like my personal Instagram page, so I feel like people get really interesting parts of me as they follow along. They're like, oh, she's reading her Bible, she's dancing around her apartment, she's eating again.
As it should be. That's a perfect life. I mean, who can live without food, right?
Man.
So for the people that don't follow you and everyone that's tuning in, how can they keep up with you in all your foodie experiences?
Yeah, so they can follow me on IG at Kate's Cravings. I do also have a website, katescravings.com. I am not the best at updating it. That is honestly one of my goals for the week and throughout the end of this year is to like pop actual more blog posts, but katescravings.com. I did just start a Facebook page so that I could reach an additional audience, which is also still just Kate's Cravings. The brand is exactly what it is. I'm not changing the name based on platforms, and especially because I believe that I can be craving a lot more than just food, whether that's like faith, family, relationships, what I'm craving in various areas. But yeah, Google Kate's Cravings, you'll find me.
I love it, man. Kate, thank you for being my final guest this season on the season finale of Live with Lamar. It's been amazing. To see your growth and your progress, and we've always, been, us. You know us. That's just gonna be us. And I definitely think everybody else that's tuned in too. Make sure y'all follow my girl at Kate's Cravings and follow me as well at Lamar Robinson TV. And have a great Thanksgiving, everyone. Eat a lot of food, get fat. You know what I mean? And then we can work out next week, going into December to get fat again for Christmas. So, shout out to y'all. Shout out to UK. Yeah, fat. We gonna eat a lot of food.
Feelings. Do not eat your feelings.
Hey, Mr. Lott, if you promise to be, I don't know, our showrunner, you know what I mean? You could be run a show, you could be the producer, director. We'll bring it back. You
can't tell him that because he will do it.
I'm with it. I think the people want it. The Jews too. We're in two different parts of our life. I think we can do it.
We don't live in the same state.
It don't matter. We can make it happen. Pops, I'm with you.
Hi, Pernell.
What's up, Pete?
Yeah.
So that being said, have a happy Thanksgiving. Yeah. I shall see you.
Y'all, thank you for having me, Brandon. Congratulations on your finale. And all right, you made me uncomfortable.
Whoa. Have a good night, everybody.
Bellow on the bellow.